Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Stillwater Artisanal, or Artisanal. And it's brewed at Two Roads Brewing Company, according to what Gregsbeer is telling me. It is an Imperial Stout coming in at 13%. I don't have the IBUs listed here. I didn't see it on the can. We will jump over to Untapped, and it says 50 IBUs on Untapped. So I did not see it on the can. A lot of damn berries and whatever on the can. Very colorful can. Brewed in can by Stillwater Artisanal, Stratford, Connecticut, FC Cast, Sweden, Hagerson. So I don't know if it's a beer done in collaboration with somebody else. Imperial Stout, Stillwater, and it's got some funky writing underneath that on Fleek, F-L-E-E-K, and alcohol 13% by volume, and I can't read anything else that's on the can, guys. This was sent to me by Brandon. So Brandon, down in Texas, sent me this beer. So Brandon, thanks again, my friend, for sending me this beer. It's amazing to me that I have not seen this beer when it's done in Baltimore, Maryland, and you're in Texas and I'm in Virginia, and I have not seen it. So it blows my mind, the distribution in this crappy ass state of Virginia that I live in. When this guy can get beers in Texas that's done in Maryland and I'm in Virginia and can't get them or haven't seen them. Blows my mind. It just goes to show you how screwed up the distribution is in a lot of states, especially this state. So it is what it is. Can't control that. The big three, Budweiser, Miller, Coors, are in control of the distribution of all beers in Virginia. Have been since Prohibition. So if they decide they don't want to carry your beers, they don't have to, or they won't give it shelf space. So. Very screwed up, guys. It is a very screwed up process. But I do appreciate Brandon picking this up and paying his hard-earned money for it and sending it to me. We're going to see what this brings. 13%, this is a big beer. In a 12-ounce can, very colorful can. Writing's kind of screwed up. The artwork's kind of screwed up in my opinion. You can't read a lot that's on the can. You really have to concentrate on what you're reading there to see what you're reading. So, but it is a colorful can. I mean, it is. It does catch your eye sitting on the shelf. And you pick it up and you're looking at it and you're going, we'll take a look at the bottom of the can. This says batch number 001. And it's got a timestamp of 12/13. So we have no idea. And they have the capability of putting it on there, but they choose to put a bunch of horse shit on the bottom of it. So, not a fan of that, guys. I am not. They could just easily put canned on this date and been done with it, but they want to write something silly ass like batch number and then a timestamp. So, over back to what we were talking about. I don't have a rating on Beer Advocate. Evidently, they have not had enough people to comment. They need at least 10 reviews on it before they'll post a rating on it. And over at Beer Advocate, we do have a rating. So evidently they've got a lot of, at least 10 people that have posted on it. Some think it's pretty tasty, and some do not. That's not going to influence my decision. What influences my decision is the information that's on the can and what's inside the can. So as far as a date on it, we have no idea, guys. They choose to put a batch number on there and a timestamp instead of putting a can on date. Not a fan of that. But we will see what this brings to the table. Evidently, the Stillwater has had this brewed at Two Roads Brewing Company. I don't know why, but that's what it says here. So, food pairings for this style of beer, guys. It says cheese and buttery, brie good, Barty Swiss. And since it is a stout, and especially an imperial stout, goes well with your chocolate dishes. And the meat is beef, smoked meat, and grilled meat. Black red, pint, backer, non tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. Got my favorite glass. This is my favorite snifter. It's solid beer glass, and here it says it can be set up for long periods, and I don't doubt that, being a 13% imperial stout. So it is time. Let's get it into the glass. Very, very black coming out of the can, guys. It is pitch black used motor oil coming out of the can. Very, very dark. Seems to be fairly carbonated for a 12-ounce can and that easy pour that I did. As you can see, a good 2 fingers of head on that easy pour, so it seems to be very well carbonated for a 13%er. Over into the light, I'm not getting any whatsoever, and I didn't think I would with that pour. Got it on my hand. Very, very dark, guys. This is a pitch black beer. Dark as a no moon, no star night. Very good looking for an imperial stout, 13%. Very impressive with as much head as it poured for 13%. Like I said, good 2 fingers of head, very creamy. There are a few bigger bubbles on the outside, but it is very creamy on the side. Nice chocolatey, khaki colored head. Let's get a nose on it. Rich roasted malt. I am getting hints of alcohol. A little on the boozy side, but that may subside if you decide to sell it, if you knew what year it was put in the can. I'm sure this is the freshest thing that Brandon can get his hands on. So Brandon, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, my brother. But there is some booziness to it, guys. It's 13%. Sometimes that's very hard to hide, especially on a fresh beer. Roasted malt, rich roasted malt. Bittersweet chocolate. Hints of caramel and toffee. Maybe some molasses in there. Smells very good. It's time. Let's get it on. Final beer of the evening. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon. Rich roasted malt. Very creamy, thick mouthfeel to this. A big imperial stout, a nice sipper. There is a strong hint of the alcohol. It's not burning or anything, but you know you're drinking a big beer. Hints of some dark fruit in there, figs, dates, raisins, plums. Wonderful smelling beer. Very nice smelling beer. But a boozy beer, I will tell you that. If you're the faint of heart or you're not used to drinking a 13% imperial stout, this may not be the one for you. But I like it. It is very tasty. But it has a strong booziness to it, I will tell you that. A great candidate to sell if you wanted to do that. The biggest problem I have with this is they're putting that silly ass batch code on the bottom of it and a timestamp and not telling you when it was canned. So that's my biggest problem I have with that. They could just easily say canned on May 2016. That's all they would need to put. So a batch number and a timestamp. How many consumers are interested in the timestamp? I can't think of a single person that cares what time of day that the beer was put in the can or the bottle. That's for their benefit, guys. not ours. So that's the only fuss I have about this beer. Them having the dating machine, and they use it for a batch number and a timestamp instead of actually putting a can on down. But it's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let me sip on it for a little bit and see where this one ends up. I'll be right back. I swear. I promise. Hi guys, I'm back. Been sitting on it about 30 minutes or so. Very tasty beer. Slightly boozy. Nice, creamy, full-bodied mouthfeel on this. Very nice. Very well done. Slightly boozy, but a lot of times that will subside if you try to age a beer like this. And it's done in a can where you could age it for a while, or even in a bottle you could age it for a while. The biggest problem I have, like I said earlier, they put a silly ass batch code, which doesn't mean anything to the consumer. It's just for the brewery's benefit, and then a timestamp, which means absolutely nothing to the consumer. So the information they've got on the bottom of the can is not for us, it's for them. And I have a problem with that. They could just as easy, they have the machine, but they print stuff on there that is no benefit to the consumer. It's just for the brewery. So unless you want to spend your time on your smartphone looking up different batch numbers to find out when the beer was done, which you shouldn't have to do. If you're at the beer store, you shouldn't have to do that. So, got a problem with that. They could just as easily put a month and a year, or at least a month and a year on there to let you know. And if you want to print something other, batch number or timestamp or whatever, that's fine. But give us, the consumer, at least a month and a year. The year anyway, on a 13% Imperial Stout. So in case we want to do a vertical side by side, we're doing a 13 and a 15 or a 16 or whatever side by side. It is absolutely to no benefit to the beer buyer, the beer consumer, the craft beer buyer, to have a time stamp or a batch number on there without having to go to their website and look it up. Shouldn't have to do that to buy a beer nowadays, guys. This is 2016. Got a problem with that. They need to put more information for us instead of for them on the bottom of the can. That's how I feel. That's just me. Slightly boozy, and that usually tells me it's a fairly fresh beer. 13% alcohol on the Russian Imperial Stout. Very tasty, guys. It's nice. Very impressive beer. Very well done other than the booziness of it. Rich roasted malt, caramel topping, molasses, bittersweet chocolate, hints of some dark fruit. Very nice. Very nice. Just got a problem with what they want to put on the information on the bottom of the can. We deserve better than that, and I'm going to hold them to that. It should be something for our benefit, not for their benefit. So, if you want to print the month and a year, or the month and the year, and then the batch number, the timestamp's irrelevant. Who gives a rat's ass what time it was put in the can? If you got the date on there, who cares if it was done at 7 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock at night? Who gives a rat's ass about that? I don't. I could care frickin' less about that. Give us information as the consumer that we want to see. So, let's see the final chug on this one. Very impressive. Other than the booziness of it, what you can, 13%. That's a big beer. It's a sipper, not a chugger. Awesome smell. Very well done. Great stuff. I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's a great final beer of the evening, which it is for me. So let's do the final chug. Wonderful aroma, guys. It is freaking awesome. The other half loved it too. And she does on these beers. When you get to the bourbon barrel age and these big monster beers like this, she really likes them. She does. And I do too. I think it's a great beer. I really do. I just don't like the information they're giving us on the bottom of the can. Very colorful can. Definitely grabbed your attention as you're walking by the shelf and seeing something with all these different colors and stuff on it. So very nice. I like the artwork of it, even though some of it is very hard to read. But the information they're giving us is hind kitty. It really is. It sucks. It sucks. We need to have something a little bit better than what they're giving us. So for me, guys, on this one, because it doesn't have a date on it, and a batch number, and a time stamp, 9 out of 10. Had a canned on date, I would probably give it to 10. It is a 10 beer and a 9 can. Very tasty. A very enjoyable beer. Brandon, once again, I'm sure this is not a cheap beer. It is probably packaged in a 4-pack, being a 13%er. And I'm sure it's not a cheap beer for a 13%er. This is probably a $7 to $10 canned beer. 4-pack of this is probably $15 to $20 for 13%. And it's very tasty. It's definitely worth trying. I just wish they would give us the information that we crave for this style of beer. So, with that being said, over to Beer Advocate. They say, nah, no scores. Not enough people have commented on this beer for them to give a score. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 99 overall and 83 in the style. And if I was giving a numeric rating, I would probably give this about a 98. Not quite to the 99, because I'm very disappointed that they're giving us all the useless information on the bottom of the can that we don't need. It's just for their benefit now. It's not ours. So they need to change it up a little bit. If they want to put a timestamp or a batch code, that's fine. But give us the canned on date. That's what I'm craving. We need to have a canned on date in case we want to do a vertical separate years and see how the beer ages and how it sells. So that's the only plus I've got about this beer. Other than that, it's a fucking great beer. It is awesome. It is a great beer. And I would buy this beer if they would change up the dating process on the bottom of the can, and I could get it here. So once again, Brandon, thank you, my friend, my brother, for sending me this and spending your hard-earned money on it. It is a very tasty beer. I enjoyed it, and she did too. So give us the information we crave, and not something that's useless to us. We'll go over to Untapped to see what they think about the beer. They say 4.03, which is definitely above the B category. It's in the lower end of the A category. And I think I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with the grade that I'm giving them. So very tasty. I enjoyed it. Great beer. Great final beer of the evening for me today. About time to go have some dinner. So you had this one from Stillwater. They're calling this the Fleek, F-L-E-E-K, and it may be a collaboration because it's got Casita Cerveceria on this. I don't know if they've collaborated with this beer with somebody else to brew this, but it says here on Rate Beer that it was brewed at Two Roads Brewing Company out of Baltimore, Maryland. So not really sure what's going on with the collaboration there, or if it is a collaboration or not, but we need more information on the bottom of the can, what they're giving us, bottom line. So if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. And Brandon, once again, my friend, thank you for sending this to me and spending your hard-earned money on it. Great beer. We just need a little more information than what they're giving us. So if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. Come on back tomorrow. It's time for dinner. I see the bell ringing. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow.